When the monsoon session of the Parliament was about to begin, there were talks about which bills will be presented in the Parliament by the Ministry of Communication and the Ministry of Electronics and IT. Since the session has started already, it is important to know the status report of those most talked about legislations. First is Digital India Act, which is considered to be the successor of the 22-year-old IT Act. Considering the continuously evolving tech space, and the government has decided to come up with this DIA, which has gone through pre-consultation, and the draft of the act is just getting ready for further consultation. From government's perspective, the point behind making this act is to make future-ready legislation of course, to a possible extent, but the government has chosen extensive consultation to move forward along with making sure that the core of such legislation should be based on principles, because the landscape as well as the challenges of advanced technologies like AI are rapidly changing. So the government is trying to make an act which can be evolved with time. Another important bill is the Telecommunication Bill. Union Minister for Communications and Electronics and IT Ashwini Vaishnaw said in May that the bill, a draft version of which was given for public comment late last year, should ideally be finalized by July, as the government had held consultations with a wide range of stakeholders already. The bill will replace the existing legal framework governing telecommunication in India. The focus is to update existing telecom laws and make legislations for the era of 4G, 5G, Internet of Things, Industry 4.0 and others. However, according to the government officials, there is still a need for more evaluation and the government doesn't want to rush it. Additionally, since the telecom bill is yet to receive the cabinet approval, it is unlikely to be tabled in this parliament session. But in the monsoon session, the IT ministry is hoping to have the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill introduced and passed, which already received approval from the cabinet in July. This bill is significantly important since it deals with personal data related matters. The government hopes that once this bill is passed in the parliament, it will create a deep behavioral change in all those digital platforms that deal with the personal data of Indian citizens. Despite some concerns raised by security experts after the draft was released, most stakeholders have welcomed the bill and said that it is a very well constructed bill that addresses all the objectives. However, members of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Communications and IT walked out of its meeting on Wednesday, saying that the ruling party was rushing a report in support of the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill, while the draft report was circulated among the panel members before the meeting. An opposition MP argued, saying that how can a bill be adopted when we have not even been given a chance to examine its final and latest version. So at least 6 opposition MPs staged the walkout from the meeting after the panel adopted the draft report for the bill. However, as of now, this is expected to be the only tech bill that will be tabled in the parliament.